What's good, guys? Welcome to Belmundo TV. It's your boy JC back again with another video, guys. Welcome to the channel, guys. Hope you're well, healthy, mentally, physically. Thank you as always for tuning in. Please make sure you like and subscribe and keep sharing the love. I wanted to have a conversation regarding why your trauma, why is trauma damaging relationships? Now, when I talk about trauma, I'm talking about problems that we haven't healed and we're taking into relationships. Now, if you look around you, just the other day I was saying why there's so many single mothers. You know, when you go on social media, Facebook, and you see all these pretty girls and you look at the profile, they'll have like 3 kids, 2 kids, and you look at the kids, these are really young children, and it's a major problem. Based on my experience in a relationship, I can kind of give you an insight what I think the problem is. I'm not an expert, I'm not claiming to be one, I'm not the savior, but what I've come to realize is that if you as a person have been through different experiences in a relationship and it didn't last, the one thing I would think or suggest will be to work on yourself, to heal, to really work on finding out what were the problems in that relationship, what caused the problems, not who was to blame, what caused the problems. Because a lot of the times, I can tell you this, guys, the people that you're blaming are not the people you should be blaming. Because if you're going into a relationship, it takes 2 to tango. You've got to ask the question why things didn't work out. What was the problems that you couldn't solve and your partner couldn't solve? Why was he blinded by the red flags? There's so many relationships out there with problems, traumas, unhealed experiences, and you as a person, you've got to ask the questions to yourself. You cannot, I've said this before, you cannot go around blaming other people. You cannot keep going into relationships thinking the last one was the other person's fault. You're going to find someone different and it's going to work out. You cannot be that naive to think you didn't play a part. You don't need to heal. A couple of sessions from counseling that would heal you. All of a sudden you're fine. Based on my experience, I can generally look back on the experience of relationships that I've had, and only truly now I understand. Only now I understand. If you've been in a relationship for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, it is a long time. And sometimes people think just because you've been in a relationship for 5 years, 10 years, it means you know the person. It means that's it, that 10 years. Listen, it's a marathon. It's a marathon. Relationships, it's a marathon. right to the beginning, you will always have the honeymoon period, the butterflies, the excitements. Pull a blind eye on red flags because you're so high on dopamine and serotonin, the chemical. You fantasize. You think this is it, my soulmate. This is the one we're connected. Guys, what you don't realize is that at some point the reality will kick in. And when the reality kicks in, that's when you really know. That's when you really get to find out who that person you're with. Who are they? And that could take a year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And that's why sometimes you see these relationships that a man and a woman in love, 2 kids, 2 beautiful kids, young kids, after 7, 6, 8, whatever, many years, oh, the man gets arrested for being a paedophile, talking to young girls and whatever else. And this is a true example, guys. This is something that really happened. Now, this is an experience that happened and I just happened to know the guy. Really nice guy. Polite, kind, loving to his wife and kids. I see him take his kid to football. He's a swimming teacher. Really like a gentleman, the kindest man. You know. Now you tell me something. If you ask his wife, was she aware of what a husband would have been capable of? No. The poor wife was devastated. Guys, we're not talking about a year. We're talking about 6, 7, 8 years into a relationship, and you're finding out that your husband, who's the kindest man, the loveliest man, could do something like that. You know, this is why, guys, it's so important that when you go in looking for a relationship, don't put your eggs on one basket thinking you found your soulmate, you find the one just because you've connected in some ways or form. You don't especially when it's under a year, you start to daydream. You know, I know this because I know people that have done it. I know women that go in and out of relationships thinking love, marriage in the first 6 months, 7 months. Really, guys? Don't get me wrong, there are people that have taken that leap of chance and it has worked. But we don't live in an age where things like can work like that. That was in the past. That was before social media. That was before all the options. What is the reason why there are so many single mothers? The reason why there's so many broken families? Because of options. Because no one is willing to do the work. No one's willing to heal. The blame is always on other people, someone else to blame. Guys, you've got to do the healing. The healing is the most important part. I know a woman that goes in and out of a different relationship, thinking introducing the kids to these boyfriends, planning the future within 5 months, 3 months, already, visualizing what the future is going to be like. That's the biggest red flags. I say this, and I'll say this to women. I'm a guy. I'm a dude. I have friends who would boast about dating girls that are vulnerable, how to use that to get into, to have sex. And I'm telling you this, we're living in an age where there's so many options. A guy doesn't need any headache. They don't want any hassle. They don't want any problems. They want to be playing computer games, watching porn, hanging out with the lads, going out clubbing, drinking alcohol. And the only way they're going to tolerate a relationship when you can provide them what they need. They're not going to give you what you want. They're not going to provide for you. They're not going to stick around. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that there aren't men out there that can do that. But the majority women, I'm telling you this right now, when you're going into a relationship, do the healing first. If you've had issues, if you come from a broken family, if you wasn't loved by your mother, your father, these are all issues, traumas that will come back and bite you. Women are looking for the father figure, the father that they never had. Provider, protector. Men are looking for the mother, a woman that can mother them and babysit them and look after them. For women, if you can't provide, if you can't stick around, if you can't take responsibilities, there's always other options. As soon as they realize that, they're gone. Men, when a man realizes that all a woman's bringing him is drama, responsibilities, stress, is gone. Again, I'm not saying that every single women and guys are like that, but this is the society we're living in, guys. It's the reality, it's the truth. It hurts, it's hard, but we're living in a reality where women are going into relationship with a fantasy already, a vision of what they want, not realizing that the expectations that you have doesn't mean you're going to get it. And the saddest truth, once you tell a man your issues, your trauma, your drama, you've kind of sold your soul, because that man will use that to get what they want. They'll know how to treat you. You won't see the true colours. Same as women. Once you tell that person everything about you, right at the beginning, you open up yourself, vulnerable. You talk about everything that makes you vulnerable. You've opened a kind of worm that most men or women nowadays will take advantage of. They'll know you're vulnerable, and they will use it to the best ability to get sex, to get money. Women use it to get money or sex, or men will use it exactly the same way. And that is the world we're living in. Your trauma is and will always come back and bite you in relationships. You must do the work, guys. You must do the work. If you do the work, we're not talking about going into a counseling session, a couple of counseling sessions and thinking you're healed. We're not talking about blaming, oh yeah, my ex was violent, my ex was abusive, this is the reason why. Now I met the love of my life, this guy is kind, he's the most loveliest guy I've ever met in my life. Guys, don't be naive. I'm telling this, women especially, I'm telling you this. Heal first. Your problems, your attachment issues, your abandonment issues, your traumas makes you vulnerable to most guys out there. Guys, it's exactly the same thing. You are vulnerable when you go into a new relationship. If you open up that quick, I'm not saying lie, I say be honest, but don't open your world that quick. Don't fantasize about marriages and dreams and your vision. You can't survive without this person because you have abandonment issues, you have an attachment issues. You got to be real. You got to be real. Do the work. From my experience, I have had to do a lot of work in terms of self-awareness, emotional intelligence, abandonment issues, attachment issues, being comfortable in your own skin, being comfortable being alone, surviving, knowing that as long as you truly love yourself as a person, you will be okay. Emotional intelligence to understand when you're going on dates, when you're meeting people, who are they really? You don't get to know someone in 6 months or 7 months and thinking, yeah, I know them really well, they're not like this. Listen guys, I've just given an example. It took 8 years for a woman to find out that a man was a paedophile who was talking to young kids. Do you think you get to know someone after a year, 6 months, 7 months, and you think you find true love? Bet at the devil you know. Bet at the people you know. I would rather be in a relationship with someone I know their flaws, everything about them, and I know I love them for who they are. They don't have to be anything else. If they're an arsehole, if they're this, if they're autistic, you know everything that you need to know about them. Better the devil you know. It's a lot more dangerous when you're dating people that you don't truly know who they are. Because you're looking for problems. The reason why there's so many single mothers out there, because no one wants to take their responsibility in any relationships. There's too many options. Guys don't want to be men anymore. They're looking for the mother figure. They're looking for a guy wants peace. But for guys, you need to learn that. Do the work. Learn from your past experience, your past relationship. If you didn't provide, if you didn't give that safe, secure environment for your family, for your girlfriend, whatever, then you need to work and understand that what is it that you didn't give that was required from you. Because if you didn't deliver, you can't expect a woman to give you what you want. And it's the same for the women. If a man's providing, if a man has a potential as a provider, it can give you the things that you need, then you have drama, you have trauma, you have abandonment issues, then do the work. So when you come into that relationship, you're giving something solid. There has to be a balance both ways. Men, women, do the work. Guys, do the work. Don't fantasize about these ideas that you have in your head about relationships or Prince Charming and Princess, and in the first 2 months or 3 months, 6 months, or under a year, wherever you think you find the one, have the emotional intelligence to really do your research. The desperation, the neediness, the fear of abandonment. Guys, you've got to do the work. When you are secure, when a man comes into a relationship secure as a provider, mentally, physically strong, the masculine energy, and woman comes into the feminine energy, you connect on a deeper level. You both understand each other's role. You know that man's going to provide for me, is going to protect me. A woman knows a woman is going to take care of. If I provide for her, she's going to build a home that I can call her place peace. I can have all my issues to deal with, but I know when I go home, my woman, my wife, girlfriend, whatever, has created an environment that I can de-stress. But without the work, guys, we won't be able to do it. If a man's not doing the work in terms of healing, in terms of focusing on his purpose, financially, emotionally, providing, then it's not going to work. If a woman comes in with dramas, traumas from past experience from childhood, it's not going to work, because at some point the masks is going to come off, guys. And when the masks comes off, you're in trouble. Then that person you thought was the love of your life, your soulmate, is no longer that. And guys, don't be too quick to jump ship. The grass is always green on the other side. Guys, relationships are hard work. I remember someone once said to me, oh, the passion wasn't there anymore. Of course. How naive can you be? How stupid can you be? In any relationship, you have to be in an environment where financially, emotionally, you have all the support that you need for you to work in your relationship. A couple need time alone. A couple need to work on the romance. But when you have these women and these men that have these ideas that whatever feeling that they have in the honeymoon period, and that's how a relationship is meant to feel like, you're stupid. You're stupid and naive. That's not how a relationship works. A honeymoon period is the early part where everyone is wearing masks, and you think this is it. You've got to be really stupid, and this is why I'm talking about emotional intelligence. You have to be intelligent to know, who am I with in a relationship? Because I tell you one thing, if you don't heal, if you keep jumping from one relationship to another, thinking the grass is always green on the other side, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years will go past like that. And you've been around, you've just given your soul away to what, 10, 15, 20 guys, and you are left even more broken. That's how bad it is right now, guys. You can spend 10, 15 years working on yourself, working on that one relationship, or you can spend 10, 5, 20 years trying to find the one with this idea of romance and not finding it, and being left even more broken and alone. So guys, fix up, look sharp. Yeah, make sure you do the work. Your trauma is the reason why your relationship, your friendships will not work, will keep breaking down, because you're not doing the work, you're not healing. Your trauma will destroy your life. Take time, heal, find out what was missing from your childhood, find out the problems that you had from as a kid, find out why your previous relationship didn't work, and probably you could have solved the problems if you had known you had issues, abandonment issues, you had fears of, whatever fears that you had. But we'll live and learn. You've made mistakes. The people around you made mistakes, because if you come into a relationship, they don't know the problems that you have, you don't know the problems that you have, you're going to clash. And you're both going to blame each other, not realizing you was both vulnerable. There could have been ways around it. You just didn't do the work. So guys, make sure you do the work, in not just for relationship, friendships, any friendships that you build, any businesses, anything that you build that puts you in a situation where you're vulnerable. You need to do the work and heal. As always guys, much love, stay blessed, stay healthy. See you on the next one.